Good day, sir. I'm Gilmer Sansoglidia, and here's my video for the oral exam. So the first question is, do the underlying values of organization development differ from assumptions associated with other types of change? In my point of view, the underlying values of organization development cannot differ from assumptions associated with other types of change. It is because both have the same aims and objectives that are improving the performance of the organizations directly or indirectly. Along with this, it should also be noted down that underlying organization development is humanistic values that help the company and its employees in fulfilling the objectives and goals more effectively by linking the assumptions associated with the other types of change. For case underlying values of organization values development and assumptions associated with other types of change provides significant opportunities for organizational individuals or groups of individuals to perform as human beings or thinking assets rather than as mechanical resources or non-thinking instruction takers only in the productive process. On the other hand, both philosophies seek commonly with the similar goal to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the entire organization with respect to achieving all of its desired and planned goals. At the same time, it can also be said that underlying values of organization-wide development and assumption related to change also deals with offering equal opportunities for every member and group of members across the organization, including the organization itself, to enhance and develop their skills and contribute optimum to their full potential as expected. So the next question is, what is transformational leadership? Transformational leadership is focused on motivation for employees to create change, innovate, and shape the future of the organizational structure. They know that being a charismatic leader is all about connecting with employees and helping them feel motivated to drive success. Transformational leaders don't micromanage. Instead, they foster a culture of employee independence and ownership. This transforms the culture and the organization into something that is innovative and always growing. Transformational leaders are encouraged to demonstrate their own creativity and innovation, becoming role models for employees and then inspiring employees them to follow in their steps. It's easy to learn more about transformational leadership by seeing transformational leader in action. There are many famous examples of charismatic leaders who utilize this leadership in their work. Some of the best examples of transformational leaders include Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is known for being one of the most iconic transformational leaders in the world. People who worked for Jobs said he was constantly challenging everyone to think beyond what they had accomplished, that he always pushed for and wanted more. He encouraged them to think about products people didn't even know they needed and go for them at full speed. He used leadership to help transform his organizational structure, improve job satisfaction, and use products to change the world. Apple is well for known innovation, and that is largely due to the way jobs encourage employees and use transformational leadership to allow everyone to use creativity. So the last question is, what might be some reasons for this lower level of engagement among more educated employees? Ideally, employees will engage in their work and eager to achieve company aims. In some workplaces, however, this is not the case. If your employees seem less than eager while on the job, you may have an issue with engagement. By increasing the degree to which your workers are engaged during their on-the-clock time, you can likely increase their enjoyment of this at work time and ramp up productivity levels. Before you can combat the cause of low engagement, however, you must understand the issue at the root. Inadequate education. Some employee engagement issues arise due to the lack of education in the field most closely related to the job. If your field is highly specialized one and work don't possess the know-how to succeed in it, they may not be engaged. To prevent this problem, ensure that you hire workers with the necessary training and take care to provide training when new development arises within your field. Inability to affect change. Workers should feel that they have the ability to create change within their places of work. If your workers don't feel as if their suggestions matter, they may be less eager to strive to implement change and improve their workplaces. To ensure that this problem doesn't arise in your workplace, listen to all employee concerns or suggestions and implement changes as a result of them whenever possible. Poor relationship development. While it may seem that the workplace is, as the name would suggest, a place for work and not a place for the development of relationships, in truth, developing friendships within the workplace can do much to increase employee with motivation and engagement. If your workers feel that they are part of the community of connected individuals, they may be more eager to strive for self-improvement and more naturally engage in their work. Insufficient motivation. To be engaged, workers must be motivated. For some workers, this motivation arises naturally and stems from their eagerness to do well at all times. For others, external motivation is necessary. If your workers seem disengaged, plan and implement a new motivation program, offering them rewards for meeting certain milestones. In doing so, you can increase their motivation and likely strengthen their engagement as well. So that's all. Thank you, sir.
Hello, good day everyone. My name is Franz Tagati, marketing student of Manila Business College, and here's my presentation for the oral exam in Organization and Management subject. Question number 1. How does the level 5 leadership differ from the concept of a servant leadership? Do you believe anyone has the potential to become a level 5 leader? Discuss it.
A servant leader operates on two levels: for the fulfillment of the subordinate goals and for the realization of the larger purpose or mission of the organization. While the level 5 refers to the highest level hierarchies of the manager's capabilities. A key characteristic of level 5 leaders is an almost complete lack of ego. You can work on developing the following skills and characteristics to become a level 5 leader.
Number 1. Develop humility. Level 5 leaders are incredibly disciplined in their work. When they commit to a course of action, no matter how difficult it is, they stick to their resolve. If you know in your heart that you're right, then don't let naysayers dissuade you from a course of action. It's always important to listen to differing opinions, of course, but don't let fear be in driving motivator when you make a change or a decision. Number 2. Level 5 leaders are sometimes mistakenly thought of as weak because they ask for help when they need it. However, learning how to ask help is a genuine strength because it lets us call upon expertise of someone stronger in an area than you are. The result? The entire team or the organization wins, not just you. Number 3. Take responsibility. A top attribute of level 5 leaders is that they take responsibilities of their team's mistakes or failings. So, make sure that you take responsibility for you and your team's action. Number 4. Find the right people. Level 5 leaders depend on the people around them. They spend time finding the right people and helping them reach their full potential. If you're a leader or a manager already, then you probably know without thinking who your best people are. However, you'll sometimes have to challenge this assumption. Our article on the leader members exchange theory shows how to do this so that you can get best from everyone on your team. And last, lead with passion. Level 5 leaders are passionate about what they do, and they're not afraid to show it. When you demonstrate to your team members that you are loved and believe in what you're doing, they will too. If you're having a hard time finding passion in your work, then you need to search for human benefits in what you're doing.
It takes time and effort to become a level 5 leader, but the good news is that it can be done, especially if you have a passion to apply. Again, it's important to realize that you've done have progress through each level in order to get to the level 5. But you need the capabilities found in each level in order to achieve the level 5 status. Over the past decade, the role of the executive sponsor has become well accepted even in organization. In fact, most of the literature about project and change management suggests that having C-level sponsor is the key requirement for success. There are many reasons. The sponsor makes sure that the project goals are aligned with the overall company strategies, garners support, and overcomes resistance from other senior executives, and provides other direction as effort unfolds. In contrast, with the project leader, who focuses mostly on day-by-day execution, the sponsor role is much more strategic, focusing on creating conditions for success instead of tactical implementation. Aside from having a huge role in project success, effective sponsorship can also be worthwhile for senior executives, as they get to oversee the key initiative that is important to the company and CEO. Unfortunately, many senior executives often aren't sure what it means to be a sponsor and how to be supposed to truly enhance project outcomes. When the responsibilities and expectations are unclear, the role becomes either meaningless, designation, or creates misdysfunction. Examples show how it tends to play out. Hesberg believed that the two entire separate dimensions contribute to an employee's behavior at work. Relationship, when hygiene factors are poor, work dissatisfying. However, good hygiene factors simplify or remove the dissatisfaction. They do not themselves cause people to become highly satisfied, motivated in their work. The second set of factors does influence job satisfaction. Motivators focus on the high-level needs and include achievement, recognition, responsibility, and opportunity for growth. Hesworth believed that when motivators are absent, workers are neutral towards work. But when motivators are present, workers are highly motivated and satisfied. Thus, hygiene factors and motivators represent two distinct factors that influence motivation. Hygiene factors work only in the area of dissatisfaction, unsafe working conditions, or noisy work environment will cause people to be dissatisfied, but their correction will not lead to high motivation and satisfaction. Motivators such as challenge, responsibility, and recognition must be placed before employees will highly motivated to excel their work.
This is Gerald Alvarez. This is my final exam. Chapter 11, Question 6. Analyze the driving and restraining forces of a change you would like to make in your life. Do you believe understanding force field analysis can help you more effectively implement a significant change in your own behavior? Yes, I believe in force field analysis because it is a mechanism that I can use to change the things I want to fix with myself. For example, just giving a lot of time in using social media. This is one of the challenges that I needed to fix because I wasted a lot of time instead of using it for important things. So it will help me if I use force field analysis because here I will know what is the root cause on why I can stop using social media, and here I will know what are the solutions that I can do so that I can make this change properly. The next one will be chapter 13, question 3. Until Sheryl Sandberg was promoted to chief operating officer of Facebook in 2012, its board was composed of only men, yet a majority of Facebook's users are 845 million users are women. Given this demographic, explain how Facebook might benefit from increasing the presence of women on its corporate board. My answer will be yes. If we base the demographic shown where there are a lot of users composed of 845 million women who use Facebook, that if you look at it, this more than a half of the percentage of a total Facebook users in the world. It will help a lot, especially now that more women are excelling in society, and it will speed up how the company can make more programs for women, and another will raise how smart and hardworking women are. It will also help them to believe more and encourage more to enter the world of technology. The last one will be chapter 16, question 5. Using a Hackman and Oldham's core job dimension, compare and contrast the jobs of these two state employees. Number 1, Jared, who spends much of his time researching and debating energy policy to make recommendations that will eventually be presented to state legislature. And number 2 will be Anis, who spends her days planting and caring for the flower gardens and grounds surrounding the state capitol building. My answer is there is a big difference in the work of these two people. If we look first at what Jared is doing, he spent his time researching and debating about energy policy to recommend to one of the legislatures that will take place. And if we look at the work intern Anis spends time planting flowers around the Capitol building, the difference is big and far. And if we use Hackman and Oldham's core job dimension, which it says there are 5 core dimensions, composed of autonomy, feedback, skill variety, task identity, and task significance. The difference between the two is that Jared is mostly thinking and communicating with the other people and analyzing the things he will be presenting. Um, on the other side, Anis is focused on planting flowers where diligence and patience are needed, and love is wanting and in what they do. The similarities between Jared and Anis are mentioned in the 5 core dimensions, where they both do the same thing when analyzing and thinking about how do the jobs they do.
Good day, sir. I am Jasmine Camille and I am going to tackle the interested final exam questions to me. So, for the first question, chapter number 17, question number 4, what are the characteristics of an effective listener? How would you rate yourself on those characteristics? Well, first, you need to listen actively by showing interest in what the other person is saying. You need to keep an open mind, be receptive to new ideas, and acknowledge some things you wouldn't have seen from your point of views. Also, you need to resist distractions. Let them talk freely before putting forward your thoughts and give them undivided attention. Capitalize on the fact that thought is faster than speech. Seek understanding. Get the whole picture and not just pieces, and avoid criticizing the things they are saying. Holds on fire. Don't pass judgmental remarks easily. Analyze your situation first. Also, you need to listen for ideas. We must understand and retain specific details. Work at listening. Absorb what the other person is saying and respond when needed. And lastly, show respect. Show them that you are genuinely interested in the conversation. Well, having said that, I have been told that I am a good listener. Most of the time, I am showing interest to the speaker, and I always tend to put myself on that person's situation because I believe that it is necessary for me to avoid judging their thoughts and be able to understand what they are trying to imply. For the next question, chapter number 17, question number 10. Describe specific ways that an organization might use social media to communicate with customers. How about with employees? Well, the social media platform can be a tool to ask customers for ideas and turn criticism into better products. It can also be used to find out what a customers like and don't like, and could create and improve marketing campaigns to win businesses. With this, an organization can utilize this knowledge to gather a list of blog posts, new features, and learning resources that the customers wants to see. An organization can also use social media as an outlet to show their customers that they care about their inputs by putting their suggestions and wants it into practice. Customers' feedback is an essential step in gaining their trust and loyalty. It shows that the organization hears their concerns and needs and are willing to act on it for their benefit. If the organization can quickly address and provide valuable help to the customers' concerns about their products or services, it will create a strong connection and good relationships with the customers. But of course, keep the content of the social media strategy light and fun to make it engaging and reach the target potential customers. Meanwhile, in engaging employees, social media can enable people to connect with one another easily across organizational and geographical boundaries based on professional relationships, shared interests, problems, or other criteria. Interacting through public sites and corporate network gives employees opportunities to participate in an online community, sharing personal and professional information, and producing and sharing all sorts of ideas and voicing opinions. Additionally, it enhances and encourages employees' involvement and communicating. For the last question, chapter number 7, question number 5. A new business venture must develop a comprehensive business plan to borrow money to get started. Companies such as FedEx and Nike say they did not follow the original plan closely. Does that mean that developing the plan was a waste of time for these eventually successful companies? Well, for me, it's a no, in view of the fact that without a plan, there's no direction. The organization will highly flounder because it facilitates way of doing things. It may not follow the original plan, but on the other hand, it formulated objectives that vary from place to place and situation to situation. Without the original plan, they can sustain the common goals. In particular, it helps to anticipate and acquire choices and better decisions. It is a fundamental element in assessing the risk in executing the desired result. In uncertainties, it is a foundation to resolve the potential impediment, improve the change process, and take measures on that basis. It ensures the sequence that needs to be done and making the process efficient and maximizes the resources. I hope, sir, that all the answers I have provided justified the designated answers to me. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to offer my gratitude to you, sir, for I have broadened my knowledge in relevant matters. And I know that all of the things you have taught us will be much of help in our future endeavors. So thank you, sir, and take care.
This is Juan Riley Sagaro, and in this video, I am going to answer the third question, which is first from chapter 10, question number 1. So, in Sandra's delegation, she breaks some regulations since she appoints someone to look after her work when she is not around. That is when she fails to supply the necessary knowledge for them to understand. Hector has also hired a senior secretary without consulting senior management or obtaining Sandra's consent, causing her to get irate of the sudden decision. As a substitute, he can assume that there is an immediate need for a secretary, which is why Hector made the decision. But the fact that he didn't consult Sandra before deciding whether to hire or not, and Sandra said before to interview 2 additional persons for a position as a senior secretary, but unfortunately were not informed to Hector Cruz. So it's very clear that both of them are on fault. So in chapter 9, question number 2, the technique that I can recommend to the gap managers used to improve the quality of their decision is to stick to the goal. This entails pursuing brand's principal goal first and foremost, while believing in the brand's ability to achieve each objective. While it is okay to consider the rivals approach and use them as an inspiration, but it is never acceptable to imitate them. The major focus should be on striking to the goals, stick rather, and overcoming any obstacle or hurdles that may arise. So in chapter 1, question number 10, by teaching a management course, it is designed to help the individuals to prepare them to be a performer in the future, helping them to mold their knowledge and experiences for them to be able to cope with any challenges that they might face in the future. So that's it. Thank you.
This is my presentation and I hope you like it. So, The first question that given to me is, what do you see as the major advantage and disadvantage of a company moving to open innovation?
The advantages of open innovation are building strong community, staying ahead of competition, increasing revenues, can create new products and services. The disadvantages of open innovation are wasted ideas and time, lack of focus, lots of ideas, and it became rampant. Cultural issues, lack of budget.
The second question is, if you were asked to design a training program to help managers become better communicators, what would you include in the program?
If I will design a training program for better communicators, I'll include the basic skills on constructing a message to easily understand. Also, the impact of communicators to listeners that has ability to motivate them. Then I included the skills to communicate such as confident and smooth transmission of ideas.
The last question is, what are the glass ceiling and bamboo ceiling?
Glass ceiling is something that prevents someone from getting a more important position in their organization. It is a barrier to success that many women come up against in their careers. Just like women, there's a discrimination that going through, such as companies. They think women can't lead, and in minors they think their knowledge is not enough.